This podcast was produced by B. Haywood for Confirmed Podcast Network.
Subscribe now.
The Big and Lazy.
This is the Big and Lazy Podcast. Give us something good to eat. Give us something good to watch. So we got a returning guest, a very big time supporter. We got Toni. Welcome back to the set. It's your third time, fourth time?
I think it's my third.
That's what's up.
I came on as an interview and then I helped host someone else, and now I'm back.
And you brought somebody special with you. Could you introduce him?
This is Grip the Wave. Well, Grip the Wave on Instagram.
Welcome to the set, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks for stopping by. And this is our 4,000. We was going to give an episode away at 4,000 followers, and here it is, man. We appreciate all the support, man. Every tag, share, comment, like. We love y'all. We going to keep going, and we appreciate the support. So how you been, man? How life been treating you?
Man, it's been a blessing, man. It's been a process. Just every year, I seek to try to get better and better within everything I do. So if it's fatherhood, my business, family, just being a better person, a better man, whatever that entails.
I seen you. Your son just had a 10th birthday, didn't he?
Yeah.
And I seen you made a post like he changed your life forever. Like, what would you mean by that? Like,
before my child, man, I definitely say that I used to make excuses and stuff like that, and I used to not hold myself accountable. I was hanging around some of the wrong people, of course, and then some of them was still good, but we were just in a bad environment, and we just always made excuses. We started to wonder like why like other people had opportunities to do certain things, and why other people were given certain opportunities that we didn't have. So I had to pretty much, like when I had my child, I had to pretty much just start crawling, and I stopped worrying about what everybody else had going on. Started watching everybody else's plate, and I began to seek to just create my own lane. So, and then before you know it, God just started opening up doors because I started holding myself accountable because I wanted for him to be able to like see a different side of me. He created a whole different mentality for me to where I had to reconstruct my whole way of like how I moved and how I did things, if that makes sense.
So, right, you got to move different when people's counting, like, little people's counting on you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They mean the world, So when you say you transition, like what were some of the things that you like, if, you say accountability, like what were some of the things that's like you did differently? Like,
I say, I'll take it back to one situation where I had a cousin of mine, like he used to be like, cuz like we smart, we intelligent, we could play sports, we can do this, we can do that, we can do this and do that. But why he able to get like a job for the city or do certain things like that. And what I had to realize was everybody has their own route. I started taking better care of my body. I started going to the gym more and like focusing in instead of me telling people. I used to have like this dream to go to the league and play football. And I used to run from 25th and Garland all the way to the waterfront and walk on the walking bridge. And me and my homies will walk and run back. It's probably about anywhere between 5 to 10 of us.
Really?
Yeah, we used to do it at like age 19. So we used to have the whole hood running down the street.
Is that where you grew up, 20 Garland?
Yeah. Okay. I pretty much we moved all around for real. But but my family, they from California. Okay. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I used to have probably anywhere between like 5 to like 10 of us. We running down Broadway with our shirts off, running down, and then we'll get all the way to the walking bridge, walk on the walking bridge, and then run back. We'll probably do it like twice a day.
That's
females be honking horns at us and stuff and stuff. You know what I'm saying? All we used to do is just like run and get tatted. It was young. It was just young. Just trying to do something positive. And I used to tell all my homies that I was going to make it to the league one day. And I remember one of my homies, I tell him all the time, like, thank you, because I remember him telling him like, yo, bro, I'm gonna make it to the league one day. He came to me one day. He said, Joe, bro, I don't give a fuck. and it fucked with me for a minute because I was like, man, this nigga hating ass nigga, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But as I look back on it, when it came like about 2020, I seen him and one of my boys was training him, and I was like, he was like, I was like, bro, thank you for what you said to me. He said, why? He said, I remember you told me you don't give a fuck about my dreams or whatever. And he was like, I was like, what I got off of that was the fact that I pretty much like stopped telling everybody your goals. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that.
Yeah, because like people are living their own reality. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So with people living their own reality, it's not their job to see what you have because that's your vision. That's what God gave you. Yeah. It's not what God gave them. So I always say, if you got a hot dog stand, you know, if you got a vision of having the best hot dog stand in the city, like just go get the steps together and put the right. And once people see that you are already in motion, then you gotta start opening up doors for other people to assist you. And a lot of times, it's not the people that you know that's gonna help you.
It's the strangers.
It's the strangers.
And I see it sometimes. The podcast, like when we first started out, like, you know, people, you know, playing as Patty, but now they knocking at the door. Like, I want to be a part of it. Mm-hmm. I want to get guest hosts. Let me get in on this, but I'm not here to show nobody. We gonna work with everybody, you know, as long as the energy's positive and the tones right. But to touch on that, like, it's called I watch Joe Rogan a lot. It's called a NPC. You ever play video games?
A little bit here and there, not too much though. Yeah.
Like, you got the main character. Like, everybody gets the main character in the video game. Like, all right, you drove here on the highway, right? You know, you got your own problems, your own issues, and it's 100 cars on this highway, and everybody in that car, and it might be 3 or 4 people in that car, got their own issues, and they the main character in their video game. So that's just human nature right there, man. Yeah. Like you said, you got to want it first. You got to go out there and let your work speak for itself.
And that's the biggest mistake that most people make. They come telling you these wolf dreams about what they got going on. They only do that because they don't necessarily 100% like believe in themselves. Mm-hmm. So they're looking for gratification from somebody else to kind of like give them that push. But it's not nobody else's job. They pretty much give you that to motivate you and get you going. Mm-hmm. You have to find that every single day you wake up, you know? Mm-hmm. So that's why I always say like certain things, like I say like on my stories and social media, I say things like find a way, but I get that from my seeing my grandmother and my mother, like being single mothers, and they just never gave up on us, you know what I mean?
Right.
So my grandmother raised 7 children by herself, and then my mother, she had us too, and like just me and my little sister, and it's just like, they never really, they didn't do everything right, you know what I'm saying? But they never made an excuse for who they were, if that makes sense. So if I feel like if a woman can do it, why can't I do it? Mm. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like kind of what I believe, you know what I mean? So I don't really got too many, I don't have access to excuses when it comes to certain things. You know what I mean? Like if you got a goal, you just punch the clock. Even if you spend too much money, and like it's been plenty of times within my business, I've spent more than what I probably should have on training or whatever case may be. But instead of me complaining about it, I just went ahead and followed through with it, and then I learned what to do the next time. You know what I'm saying? So it's never a loss. It's always a lesson. You know, and that's just how I look at things now. Like I feel like every day I wake up, I have to have the mentality to win, even when my circumstances don't look like I will. So
just win the day, huh?
Just win the day.
Yeah,
find a way. Love the word.
You spoke of gratification. Do you think social media is kind of threw it for a loop with the instant gratification? Like nowadays, you ain't even got to win. You can just look like you winning, and you can trick your mind. You know what I mean? Long as some people, long as you, if I look like I'm winning, if I look like I got this, how do you feel about that?
I feel like a lot of people do it, but I also like, for me, like, I feel like it's going to be a distraction for most because people are not patient, you know? People don't really look at things in a sense of crawling before I walking and just enjoying the process and just taking the proper steps to get to where you need to be at. Like, people, they feel like they have to have it right now. And that's what's, like, driven so many people to walk in paths that it's not of righteousness anymore. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have it. Like, a lot of people don't have any morals or anything.
You're right about that.
And because of that, it's putting people in the mentality to go into deconstruction mode. So it just.
What you mean by deconstruction mode? Like self-destruct?
Yeah. Yeah. They slowly but surely deteriorate on the inside. Like they rotting on the inside. And like that's why like for myself, like I a lot of people know me, but I kind of stay to myself a lot because like a lot of people energy isn't right because they're not doing the right things to help themselves grow. Like they are slowly like dying on the inside, and it's because they not necessarily like attacking the spirit. You know what I mean? They're more so focused on the external, trying to like prove to the Joneses that they winners. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they don't like, and you can actually just see it every time. You could feel it when you walk in certain rooms with certain people. Like even myself, like my energy be so high sometimes that. Like when I run across certain people, like some people, they feel threatened by me, and I don't even be doing nothing to people. You know what I mean? I just be trying to move with love, you know? And some people just, they get intimidated by my energy in a sense because I don't engage in everything they have going on, you know what I mean? But I've really, back to your question, like the gratification portion of it, I feel like it's going to be a destruction for most people. I think a lot of people are going to fall into the traps of whatever's going on in this world, if that makes sense.
I feel like, because I was just talking about this today actually, and like how you said that people look for other people to make like to be a motivation to them, and when you should really be motivating yourself, and like people just make excuses for themselves. I was just talking about that today, and as me being a boy mom of two boys, I was just telling someone like there's no excuse, and even with my kids being 16 and 13 years old, I feel like that if you don't teach your kids while they're young, like there's no excuses, because me as your mom, if I make excuses for you, when you go out here in the real world, they not going to make no excuses for you. Nobody's going to motivate you. Your family, you know, your mom, your dad, you know, your siblings or whatever, they may motivate you because they love you. Yeah. But at the end of the day, if someone chooses not to be that motivational, you know, person, like you're not going to always have it. And at the end of the day, you have to do what you have to do for you, because at the end of the day, you are you. You are born to be you. You live with yourself every single day. You can't wake up tomorrow and just say, hey, I want to be you. Right. And we're going to switch bodies. So you have to do what you have to do right then and there, and not look for validation. And like so many people look for validation from social media to be this, I be that, or I just, for an example, I just bought this new Benz. I don't have a Benz, but I just bought this new Benz. She got 6 Benzes. Man, she ain't got one, she got 6 of them. I wish, but I just bought this new Benz, and okay, you know, they may bought it because they see that somebody else done went and got them a Benz, right. And now you, like you just said, self-destruction. You can't really afford it, so you working your butt off so you can pay this high car note.
Some people like riding foreigns till it's time to get an oil change. And
exactly.
On some brakes.
Yeah, some brakes or something.
Yeah. Yeah,
that oil change is $300.
Shizworth Vezo said that was like one of the dumbest things he could have did was buy a Bentley. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He said he shouldn't even he shouldn't have even like pretty much even bought that Bentley or whatever. So I was like,
and like he said he got the instant clout, you know, oohs and ahs for about 2 weeks. But he said he could invest that $5,000 into his rap career, into his business, to buying some property. But
as soon as he drives off the lot, it's $100,000 in the hole.
Yeah, you're right. They lose value pretty quick. But this is the Big and Lazy Podcast, and we ask everybody this. Give us something good to watch and give us something good to eat.
Me?
Both of y'all.
I mean, I don't really watch TV, bro, so I'm going to say Power. Watch 50 Cent.
There you go.
You know
absolutely Power. I still haven't watched the new, what is it, with Kanan? No, it's not Kanan. Who is it? He just came out. A show just came on, back on a new season.
They ain't being
Ghost?
I don't even watch that. I don't know. I watched like the first
left cancel.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, right. And that sucks because I like BMF. But I like to watch a lot of crimes.
You look like the type.
I like to watch a lot of it. I like to watch, like, to see what else is going on in the world. Like, sometimes I be watching something that there was a couple in, let's say, for instance, Nevada in 1992 of June. That's my birthday. I was born in 92. Oh. But, like, I just like to watch it like, dang, what was I doing that day? And this was going on somewhere else in another state. Or I just like to watch stuff like that to see how, because we learn a lot, of course, of what goes on here in this city.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are so green, I guess. Not green, but a lot of people are so, to what's going on in other states. I want to move here. Like everybody's going to Houston. But Houston is terrible.
Yeah.
So I like to watch like other states and stuff like that. So I watch a lot of documentaries, a lot of crime scene stuff, just to see, what else is going on out here.
Right. And give us something good to eat. It could be a restaurant or a favorite dish or, local.
Right now, I'm slimming down, man. So I'm going to go healthy. So I like my favorite spot right now is Core Life. I go get that chicken teriyaki bowl with purple rice, quinoa. It's right here on Hurstmore. Okay. I live out this way, so yeah. It's got quinoa, purple rice, broccoli, and chicken teriyaki chicken. So it's fire to me. I eat that almost like 3-4 times a week.
Oh wow,
that's what's up.
Yeah,
I like. I had Connors.
Connors?
Yeah.
How was it?
Pretty decent.
It was great. I had the lamb chops. I believe I had Brussels sprouts and maybe their mac and cheese, if I can remember. It was like some months ago. And then I also told them it was my birthday so I can try their dessert for free.
They'll check your ID then.
No. I was like, it's my birthday. But really, I was there to celebrate my granddaddy's birthday. He passed away. He passed away a few years ago, so I was there to celebrate. So.
But to touch on what you said a little bit, I had a barber. He's from Louisville, but he's actually down in Atlanta. And I was telling him how he feel like, people from Louisville's this, Louisville's that. He says people down in Atlanta saying that, like, I need to get out of my hometown. I ain't nothing here. There's better opportunities here. Like you said, it's all universal. It's all the same thing.
I love that you said that too, because I really feel like growth don't happen based on as far as the city you in. You just probably just need to get away from the environment you in. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not necessarily that you need to go across the country. It's the fact that you probably need to move across the city.
Right.
Honestly, like when I was doing stuff I had no business doing when I was younger, trying to find my way, I was living downtown, and in my environment, I was just a product of my environment.
Right.
Like even as good of a person that I was, I just everybody's in survival mode down in the hood. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you like stuck, that's why I don't judge nobody who's down there doing the stuff they doing, because of the fact that like when you in survival mode, you just trying to make sure that you eat and make sure you get to the next day. Mm-hmm. So it's like that's the reason why I can't get mad at these young bulls who be trying to who be out here doing everything they doing. Mm-hmm. Now I don't think it's right. You know what I'm saying? But I can't necessarily be like, yo, he's such a bad person because he's doing this and he's doing that. No, that's what everybody around him is doing, and even the Bible says, like, not everybody's going to make it, bro. You know what I mean? Right. So it's like, when I had my child, like, that's one of the things I did. Like, when I had my child, and then I went through whatever I went through with my child's mother, and then I finally got my son back to me, right? I went 3 months without being able to see him. When I finally got him back in my hands, they got him back in my arms, and I was holding him and stuff, I started making all these promises to him. And then at the time, I had moved out of my mom's crib, moved in the South End with my pops, and as I was living with my pops, we was going through all this stuff, and then he put me out, and I ended up moving out here with my bro. Actually, I moved with my child's mother first for like 2 weeks. We got into it. And I was like, you put me out, I ain't never coming back. Mm-hmm. And I didn't. She put me out. I ended up going to my boy's crib, and I slept on his floor on a blow-up mattress with a hole in it for like about a year. Mm-hmm. And I would get my son every weekend, right? When I had my son, like, he just gave me hope to like just do the right thing, you feel me? And just kind of shift my mentality. So I started working for the construction union, doing all these different things, and just because I wanted just to be the father that I feel like my pop should have been. You know, my pops is a great man. He's a good man, but he just allowed his circumstances to make him a victim. So with that being said, it put him in a position to where he wasn't able to be the father, not even necessarily perfect, but the father that he needed to be for me and my sister and my little brother. So yeah, I always said I wanted to be better than him, and I always wanted to be what I felt like he should have been. So yeah, so when I moved out here, man, it kind of like just being out here, like it kind of gave me a whole nother perspective on like life. Like I didn't have to like watch over my shoulder. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't even have to carry a pistol. You know what I mean? Like,
Gotta be on the defense.
I ain't have to be on the defense. Like even I had my little bro. He came stay with me for about a year. You know, then last year I took him, my two god brothers, and my godson, and then my son was here for like the whole summer last year, and they stayed with me. And they both, all four of them, well, besides one of them, because one of them already lived out this way. But the other three, well, and my son too. But the other two, they was like, man, like it just feels different out here. Like I don't feel scared or gotta watch nothing. Like I don't feel like like, so it's like just being downtown in that environment sometimes, and the people being and not having the resource. Like you can't even go nowhere and get a smoothie. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Like you can't go no, like they finally got a Smoothie King on Dixie, but it's still all the way out, damn near out like out Valley, damn near close to the Valley.
Down there PRP,
Yeah, damn near PRP, you know? So it's like people don't have like resources in order to be able to even think or look positive, you know what I mean? Right. So like the closest they got is maybe Nulu, but they're not really welcome down there.
They're not,
you know. So,
Southern Indiana, but you know niggas ain't. Excuse my language. People ain't going there. You know,
no,
they don't like crossing that bridge. Like you said, when I was seeing they was making a Popeyes in the hood, I said Dino sell chicken there. You know all these chicken joints, McDonald's, Burger. You know what I mean?
Then they slap a hospital right in the middle of it.
That's crazy, ain't it?
Yeah, it's another topic for another day. Yeah.
So how long? Let's talk about your business. How you into security business? You want to talk about that? What's the name of it?
So I own a company by the name of Anti-Threat Solutions. We've been in runnings for 5 years now. We do stuff all around the state, honestly, and for big people. Some of them that it's already been documented. I can speak on. Like I do a lot of stuff with Jack when he's in town. I'm head of Joey Wagner group security. He's the man around town. And then I do like I got like a couple bars here. Like one of them is the most hot bar here in the city, the Hub, right there on Barstown Road in the Highlands. So, but we do a little bit of everything from events, staffing to executive protection to driving to pretty much residential. We do asset removal and helping like pretty much like for different like car dealerships that we help them move their money to the bank and stuff like that. Yeah, armed guard. And then we're here recently. I'm in the process of connecting and elevating my business into cybersecurity.
Oh, really? That's the wave right there, the cybersecurity.
Yeah.
So would that be like, you know how you have Vivid, like, so that would be like your name and like, oh, I could order, you know, what is your business called again? So that would be like a camera system or something.
Well,
like that?
that's surveillance. So
okay.
I haven't tapped into that just yet, but I'm in a mission. I'm on a mission. But cybersecurity is more so of protecting people's assets digitally.
Oh, okay. Okay, got you.
Yeah.
So, are you going to like school for that? Or like
I'm going to school for it, but also I have a partner that who already is in that field, and what I would pretty much be doing will be outsourcing and like just bringing that to the table for high level clients who need that type of level of protection. Okay.
Is there a lot of people here like? Because I know when you go into like adding something to your business, I'm pretty sure you and your partner that's already educated in it. Would y'all say like it's a lot of people here already that really needs that?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yes, and it's not only just here. Like I do stuff outside the city.
Oh, okay.
Too.
Okay.
So like last year, I was working with a team we was in Miami, in LA with Dirk before he got in trouble. And free Dirk for sure, free Smirkio. Yeah, I was doing his residential side, just pretty much patrolling and making sure that his house and making sure his family, everything was taken care of and stuff like that.
That's dope, man.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is he cool to work? Did you actually meet him?
He's a good brother, man.
Oh, really?
He's a really good brother. Outside of the street stuff he got going on, he's very down to earth. He's very, very, very about his religion. He's about his family, his kids. I actually got to work for him Father's Day weekend. I skipped out on being down here with my kids so I can go down there and work with him. Father's Day weekend, because he had brought his father out and brought all the children out to Malibu, and then he shot his video and stuff like that. They wanted me. I didn't get to actually be there for the actual video because I had got there a day after. They wanted me to come the day before, but I just came back from Miami from doing some training up there for offshore kinetics, which is like one of the best firearms trainings down in Miami, and I was doing some training down there, and then they had called me randomly like, "Yo, bro, can you come down to Malibu? They got a flight for you to come on down, and we need you to help us with orchestrating everything, pretty much getting everything together for that." And I was like, "All right, cool." But I was like, "I gotta go home and check in with the family first." Right. So I came home and let everybody know I'll be back in like a week or two.
Oh, that's dope.
So it was pretty dope to actually work with that team. They were pretty good people, man. And
what type of firearm training was it? Was it like a specific kind?
Just more so like we would do offshore kinetics. We would do like pretty much it was a pistol class.
Okay.
Yeah, so we would be out the range and we would be shooting on steel, and just working on accuracy and marksmanship. So I got a couple of videos on social media, but it was like it's like my second course I've taken with them. My guy Mike, he's a beast. He's a beast. Ex-SWAT. I believe he is military. I ain't gonna lie and say I want to say he's Marine, but I could be wrong. I think he might just be Army. But dude's a beast. He's a beast. He's killing it down there in Miami.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you learned? I know you pretty trained with using a gun.
Yes.
But do you feel like you learn more about guns and firearms after you took that, like stuff that you might have not known?
Yeah, you have to go, and you also have to practice when you come home too. Like you can't just go and then not come back home and not even pick up a firearm again. But yeah, when you go to these type of courses and classes, you get to see where you at.
Wait, okay,
and then
that makes sense.
And then they sharpen you on how to get to the wall and making sure your aim is good and make sure you got your sights and make sure you're seeing everything. So when I went to these courses, I was able to see where I was at, and then I would come back home and I would go shoot, and then just to keep myself in rhythm so I can get better. Just like with anything else, you get what you put into it.
Yeah. So on the level, I guess, from 1 to 10, where do you feel like you was at versus where you at now that you done became more knowledgeable about what you could have worked on and what you could do? I
say, well, from the training, you talking about from the last training I took?
Yeah, the last training you took.
I say I'm not even going to toot my own horn or nothing, so I'm gonna say I'm at a 5 now. Okay. The only reason why I say that is because it's so much more to it.
Yeah,
having absolutely. A firearm, it's what can I use it as an example of? But it's like having a firearm it's always something new. There's always
you never stop learning. Yeah.
I'm really good with it. I can do my thing with it. I know how to dry fire and stuff like that, and hit my target point blank in my groupings really, really well. But it's more stuff that I need to do. So now I'm good with the two hands. I need to know how to shoot correctly with one hand or with the left hand. Yeah. Or now I got to get to rifles. You know what I mean?
Right.
Shotguns. It's just always something to learn with the firearms. You just always got to study because it's always a better way, and it's always somebody that's out here doing it better than you.
Exactly. Especially when people work in the high end security, for the president or stuff like that. They're absolutely to cover someone like that that's in, Congress or anything, you gotta be top of the notch. So that's very I get it. Yeah.
So I'm just humbly saying 5 because it's just so much more I need to learn.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's why I paid like the first year I started to like really tap into the training back in 2021. I took executive protection course with security czar at MVP Security up in DC, but we wasn't doing shooting then. But that was just an executive protection course, which is like high level security for like personnel, dignitaries, and stuff like that, celebrities or whatever. And then I came back, did an offshore class. Then I started shooting at gun ranges and doing a lot of training with that. Then I seen a guy like a little brother of mine, like a little brother of mine. He live in Nashville. He's a beast. He's like a head of Fantasia Security. He's a young dude too. He's on like 25. His name is Ty. He's but he's killing it. I seen him taking courses at this school called it's not school, it's a range down in Nashville, and I seen him taking them courses there. I want to say it's range. I can't think of the name, but anyways, I started seeing him taking them courses, and I said I'm gonna go check it out. Nashville ain't nothing but like a hop, skip, and a jump, 2 hours away.
Right.
So I was like, I'm gonna drive down there and take a course or two, and I started like the vehicle tactical shooting out the vehicle and shooting out the window. You know what I mean? Just kind of like. Just pretty much learning defense with the firearm.
Right.
I had got USCCA certified to be an instructor, but I felt like I wasn't ready to be able to teach people how to shoot a firearm, and I didn't even know how to break down my firearm correctly.
Right.
So I recently just got recertified to be able to teach. So this summer I'm gonna be going crazy with teaching that to people, helping the community more, teaching it to boys and girls.
Will you be able to license somebody? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's great. Okay.
Yeah. So I could have been doing it, but I didn't want to be giving information out, giving out false information.
That's understandable because that's a serious, very serious.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about the people that say, because I don't live a violent life and I don't think nobody's out to hurt me, knock on wood, but I do carry a gun. I got my concealed license, but what do you say to the people that say you don't need a gun? I figure I don't need a gun, but some things I'd rather have and not need the other way around.
Yeah.
So how do you feel that people say like gun? Because I got like the issue of like gun control, because the school shooters or whatever, they got ARs and rifles, but I didn't have an AK and an AR for years, and it ain't jumped up and killed nobody. It ain't hurt no. You know what I mean?
It's the person that's behind the gun, and most people who's out here doing crazy stuff with the firearms is the ones who's not really educated with them. Mm-hmm. And then the people who are scared of them are the people who are not educated with them. Right. So it's like anything else. Like if it's something that you don't fully understand, a lot of people are scared of it and want to stay away from it because it's not part of their reality. Mm-hmm. So it's like I don't care what that is. It's like a lot of people just be fearing things because they don't know what it is. So it's I say with the firearm thing, like of course, like even myself, I'm not out here doing nothing to nobody, but it's better to have it than not to have it.
Right. Like insurance, like car insurance. You don't need a car insurance to drive a car.
No.
But if you get caught with it, you're not caught without it, police or whatnot.
You hit somebody.
Yeah, you hit somebody, or you're in deep shit.
You ain't got the money to pay people $10 grand, $20 grand to get their car fixed.
So have you ever worked with Weston Goldie? He got a gun channel called Stick Tactical.
I know all about him. I'm gonna tap in with him this year. That's the goal. I've seen him do some good work, but I haven't got the blessing to work with him just yet.
Or maybe we can all collab because we got something. Because we going to the range to shoot some content because he's nice with his web. He got we gonna go shoot some content.
Yeah, he's a beast. I salute to him. Yeah, he's doing his thing.
The invitation's open, man. So
absolutely, I'm down.
So I see you got the All Money In tattoo. Was you a Nip fan?
Yeah. Well, that's just crazy because So I knew about Nip growing up in the hood my whole life, but I didn't really tap in with Nip until he dropped Victory Lap, and I seen everybody was shouting him out, like DJ Khaled, Rick Ross. Everybody was just shouting out his album, right? Mm-hmm. So I started tapping into his album, and shout out to my big bro Maurice Rudia, who owns Empire 6 over, and yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a blood brother.
No, it's like one of my dogs. So he I remember him manifesting his gym, and when he was manifesting his gym, he would go home and read, and he would just listen to Nipsey all day long. We would talk about the album all the time, and when Nipsey passed away, because we were so tapped in with the album, like it kind of affected me in a way too, to where I was like, dang, like dude was a good dude. Like he was trying to give back to his community. You know what I mean? Like although he was out, doing he was going corporate and doing everything he had to do as far as to pave the way for him and his kids and his family. But he was also giving back to his people too, and he never let go of his culture. So and then I started paying attention as he passed away. I started paying attention more to his concepts of what he was really, the message that he was trying to give to his people. Brother. Yeah, and then one of the things was with the whole thing with all money in is he's going all in on investing in himself. Mm-hmm. So he don't got no fear, you know what I mean? So, and then with that deal, with that kind of like reset my mind in the sense of where like, okay, go all in, like don't leave none of it. If you fail, you fail, you know what I'm saying? But just give it your all, you know what I'm saying? You just don't know what it can happen. Like I honestly, like my first year, like I said, like Joey Wagner's like a big brother to me. He gave me opportunity and I executed. And every time he gives me opportunities, I still execute. Back in 2021, I started my company in 2020. I met Joey through a friend, and he gave me opportunity to do security at because I believe the Louisville soccer team opened up in 2020, right? Mm-hmm. The stadium opened up in 2020. Yeah. He gave me opportunity to do security. I had like 10 big dudes. We always out there doing security for Dennis Rodman's daughter to do signing. She had like a signing day to pretty much market off the soccer stadium.
She played for the soccer team?
No, she just came in town. They was playing them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's real big in like I think it's semi-pro. So, okay. I think it's I don't think it's semi-pro. I think it's a technically a professional soccer, but she's big in soccer. So she was here in Louisville though, and we had to do security for her. And then time flew by, and then we ended up. I think Yearby was getting closer. The following year, my bro Maurice had opened, and my bro Maria, they opened up their gym out of Middletown. And when that happened, Joey he was doing like a lot of their marketing, and Joey was at the event at the opening. I couldn't be there, but he asked Maria, he's like, "Yo, Yearby's, dude, that was when the city had just opened back up." Yeah. And he was like, "Bro," he asked Maria, he said, "Bro, you want to run the security for Yearby?" And Maria was like, "Nah, but my little brother got a company." And then he mentioned me and called me on FaceTime, and Joey was like, "Oh yeah, we did security for me for the soccer event." He was like, "I'll be calling you for Yearby." So I'm like, "All right, whatever," you know what I mean? So I'm not thinking nothing of it. He ended up calling me, and he was like, "Yo, Joe, you ready?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's run it." So then he's like, I'm calling him like, "Yo, like, do you got any?" I was like, "Is everything good?" Cause at the time I had like some little cheap little liability. I was paying like $90 a month for it or whatever. I forgot what company. I think it was like Birkin Shower insurance, and it was pretty much just only covering myself. So he says, so I'm calling him over and over, just trying to make sure I'm excited, because he's like, "Yo, I need 15 people for this day. I need 10 people for this day. I need 8 people for this day." So it was like a 4-day stretch for Yearby. Mm-hmm. And like I said, it was the first big event. It was the first big contract up under my business. So I had been doing security before that, but I just hadn't did nothing like really fully up under my company, because I just started my company in 2020. So he says, so I'm calling, trying to make sure. So I think, what was it? Thunder over Louisville comes around, and he's like, "Bro, you Now I called him. I said, "Yo, is everything good with the insurance and stuff?" Like, he's like, "Yeah, everything's smooth. I call you and let you know as we get closer to the time." I said, "All right, cool." Man, we get to about a week before Yearby come, bro, and my man called me and says, "Bro, the Ice House said your insurance is no good." Bro, I'm at the zoo with my son on a Wednesday. I chaperoned for my son's school. Yeah. So I'm at the zoo, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? So I'm supposed to be I'm chaperoning my son and this other kid, and I'm like, all right. So I'm calling around the city trying to see if I can get some insurance somewhere, and I can't find nobody with no insurance.
What do you mean by insurance? Like, like to cover like any like
incidents, anything that happens. So if somebody, some it's a situation where, somebody get killed or some whatever case it may be, like that's my insurance. I have to pay $1,000. I have to pay $1,000, and then they pretty much send me a lawyer and they cover my ends. You know what I mean? So, like I got right now, I got a $3 million policy on my company. So at that time, I only had like a little cheap insurance that was just pretty much pertaining to myself, and I it didn't sound like to do some event like I knew this guy was big time anyway, so I was like to do some of the events I knew that was coming up. I didn't even know what was going to happen yet, but I just knew that I knew that probably the insurance I had wasn't no good. You know what I mean? So when he told me, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna figure it out. So I'm calling around, and I like the old me would have been like giving up, like maybe this ain't for me. You know what I mean? Got discouraged and just kind of just let it go to the wayside, and somebody else would have came through and swept it up, and you know what I mean, and handle business, or I'd have let him down, or whatever case may be. But I had kept looking. I'm calling around. So with my intuition, and I kept like looking on Google and everything like that, I finally found a company out of New York, and I called them, and the guy was like, yeah, we can get you going, but it's gonna probably be like a $1,700 down payment.
Yeah.
So at the time, I probably had like $1,200 to my name at the time, and but I was like, I can figure that out. I can hustle up some bread. Probably ask a couple people for let me hold something or whatever, and
donate some blood or something.
Yeah, he did something. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So then, like I said, I'll have it by Friday. I said I call you on Friday. Since it was a Wednesday, so that Friday I calls him. He's not picking up the phone. So he's like, but he also told me that I could email him. So I kept calling him. So I kept calling, blowing him up the whole day. He never answered the phone. Just Joey's like, yo, bro, you got everything together? I was like, nah, I ain't got. It's like, no, I don't get. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna figure it out. So I calls him. He still not answered the phone. I called, and the lady never did tell me that he was out of office. So she's like, you should email him. At the time, I ain't know nothing about no email. So I emails him from my phone. I figures it out. I figured out, okay, it's just like texting, because I never had a reason to email nobody. So I emails him, and he said, he immediately calls me like within like 5-minute range. He took his family up to like, I think he took them up to Niagara Falls or whatever. Up in Canada or whatever. He was like, yo, Joe, I'm sorry. I took my family out of town for the weekend. He's like, just sign the paperwork up. I get it to you. We'll set up. I'll send it to the broker, and we get everything set up by Monday. And the following events was on the Derby weekend. The event started on that Wednesday. So a lady friend that I had, she helped me do the PDFs and all that stuff to sign everything, but we sent it to the wrong email.
Damn.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So when we sent it to the wrong email, I calls him that Monday. I'm like, yo, we ready to get going? He's like, we never got it. So I tell him the email. He said, that ain't the right email. So he gave me the right email, and we immediately sent it over. And he's like, all right, I got to wait on the broker. So I'm like, 24 hours going on, and the broker finally hits him. And on that Tuesday, and he's like, it went from 1,700 to like 23.
Damn.
Right? Uh-huh. So I'm like, damn, what am I going to do? So luckily, that was the first time my child's mother ever let me file my son on my taxes. So right before I was supposed to pay, right? Because the whole thing is, I'll take you off for a little second. I've been doing stuff with Jack since 2018, right? And when I used to do like his mansion parties and stuff, he would call me for mansion parties and stuff. So fast forward, going back to it, my goal was like, yo, I probably need to get back to him, because like I know that for a fact, like that's, for some reason my spirit was just telling me like I need to get back to doing work for bro. And so I was hearing dudes' songs come on and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't know if it's God telling me this is what I'm supposed to be doing or what case may be. So I ended up probably like 12 o'clock that day. No, I'm sorry. I ended up the direct deposit right before, like 30 minutes before I needed to pay him the direct deposit for the taxes hit, bro. And I was like, damn, this ain't number God, right?
Right.
So then I'm waiting on dude to get the brokers to go ahead and clear me out, and they kept pulling their leg. The next day, this was on a Tuesday. The next day on that Wednesday, they cleared me 12 p.m. before we were supposed to work at night at 7 p.m.
Damn.
Nice.
Yeah,
Amazing.
Yes, it's crazy, bro. It's a crazy story, bro. So after that, now going back to Nipsey, I know I gave you a whole run around, but going back to Nipsey is I invested my last into that. You know what I'm saying? So I put all my money in to get a bigger blessing out of it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I got. That's why I got. And so that's where I was able to connect the dots when bro died in 2022. I think he passed away.
I think it was 2019. I think it was February. I think it was
Might have been a little bit earlier than that. Yeah. You're right. Right. But like, it wasn't March. So, but when bro passed away, and just seeing how his story was, and like the things the message he was giving out, like it put me in a perspective of understanding, like, yo, like bro, like if you just allow God to lead you, and you just like don't worry about the money, don't worry about trying to, it goes back into instant gratification too, worried about trying to be that guy or any of that. Just walk your path. Everything will work out the way it's supposed to work out.
That's dope, man. That's an amazing story right there, man. Yeah, Nipsey, he was one of them guys, man, like, you know, he had his past or whatnot, but he also had a, message, like, because I read seen his interview, matter of fact, here recently, this is like in 2016, he was telling us to buy Bitcoin back then. Bitcoin, at the time of the interview, Bitcoin was like $9,000.
Yeah.
And it's right now, it's hovering about, 90? And, he just so, front thinking and whatnot. Man, R.I.P. Nip, man. He's a good guy.
Definitely.
I know a guy. I was at the Funny Marco show, and this is my man. Shout out to my man. His nickname is Man Latarius. He's a big Nip fan. He didn't.
Man.
Yep. He's a big guy. He grew the braids out.
Yeah.
And he see me at the because I sometimes I rock Crenshaw stuff and woo. And he see me at the comedy show. Man, where's your marathon shit? Where's your marathon? Like, I ain't got nothing to go with these shoes with the marathon. Right. Stall me out, man. So we asked this. If you could see anybody on the podcast, who would you like to see on here? But you got to be able to make it call, plug us. This is to both of y'all.
I'll go.
Well, she actually plugged you, man.
Huh?
You actually plugged him, man. You said he'd be a good fit for the podcast. You actually.
I take like a few people, but that's what I was trying to sit here and think of some people that I have tagged. I don't think y'all have my cousin Leslie on her.
Leslie, don't ring a bell.
B lady, she has waist beads. Leslie,
I don't ring a bell. We can, Leslie. Shout out to her. Shout out to Leslie.
I'm ready. Yeah, honey, the B lady on Instagram, but she has exotic beauty beads. So I say my cousin Leslie, because she's doing her thing, and she just got her own suite. Where females can come in, because at first I believe she was at someone else's suite that just opened up. They opened up their salon. So now she's doing her own thing, and she's plugged in with a lot of females here in the city and out of town as well. So yeah, I say her, and she also does the exotic Frenchies.
Really? The Bulldogs?
Yep. And around Christmas time, she was giving away like Frenchies, like doing raffles. So, yeah, shout out to her.
Hold on, she gave dogs away Frenchies?
She was doing raffles around Christmas, yeah.
So, like what was the ticket? Like, what was the bag? I know them pretty expensive.
I think it's like $20 a ticket.
Really?
Cheap.
That's dope.
I've been charged like $100.
Yeah, Frenchies are pretty expensive.
I want to say she was like doing $20 a ticket. So I think people was buying like doing $100 tickets.
Mm-hmm. You a fur mother too. I seen you. Do you still got the dog you rescued? I seen that's pretty dope.
Yes, her name's Bella. I still have Bella. She's a pit bull. But yeah, I rescued her. She was just literally, no joke. She was in the middle of the street. It was a red light. I was coming down Cane Run from the Greenbelt, but she was on the opposite side in front of me. And she was just running in between cars trying to like go up to cars' doors. Oh. And I was like, dang. So I pulled over in that church across the street from not Ferdale, Farnsley, at church right there, and I had pulled over in that church, get out my car. She was sitting in front of a semi truck. It was a red light then.
Yeah.
A red light turned green, and I was like, "Come on." I said, "Come on," and she just ran over there to me and got in my car, and I've been having her since.
That's dope. Man. That's amazing, man. That says a lot about a person that that cares a lot about animals and stuff like that.
I love animals. I absolutely love. I like animals more.
Miss Doolittle.
Miss Doolittle,
the dog whisperer.
Yeah, that's so funny because that's what everybody calls me.
For real?
They call me the dog whisperer.
My dog, she just passed her the last. What's she?
Damn, sorry.
About 3 months. She had cancer.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
She lived a good life. She was almost 11.
I just actually one of my dogs passed away, Anna, and my sister had her. She was caring for her, but she got really old because when I moved into the house I live in now, like 5-6 years ago, I gave it to my sister. This was like after COVID and stuff like that or whatever. And so yeah, we actually just had her cremated. Like I want to say it's probably been 3 weeks now, 3 weeks to a month.
Oh, damn.
And she was just real old. And my sister woke up one day and she was just passed away in her bed.
Damn. That's crazy. We actually took her to the vet, and she had like a wart, but it was they said they couldn't operate it, and it was like she couldn't, it got hard for her to walk. She was losing her, so we put her down. And I always joked to my mom like, it's just a dog. I always joked on people like, when the doctor came with the bad news, I was the first one boo-booing. You should see me in there, man. Yeah. But RP Peach. So who would you like to see on here, man? Who would you?
I can name a couple people. One of them is. Because I do still personal training. I've been personal training for 8 years. I do it like on the side. I would say the facility I train at is One Stop Fitness off of Barstown Road, 5324.
I like his plug. He just slid it on in there.
Yeah.
There you go. That's what's up, man.
My guys, Randall and Eric, they've been doing their thing for a while. They have it over there off of Barstown Road. And then I'll probably say my bro, Mariel and Maurice over at Empire 6, they doing their thing out of Middletown.
Oh, okay.
They got probably one of the best aesthetic gyms in the city. So if not the best.
You said the aesthetic gym?
Yeah, like they gym is top of the line as far as look, color, equipment.
Yeah.
So they doing their thing out there too. So shout out to those guys. Who else? Who else can I plug in? There's a lot of people out here doing their thing with the entrepreneur stuff that's doing some positive stuff. I have to shoot them to you. I got to think about it, but yeah.
But while you're doing that, go to bigandlazy.com. Subscribe to our subscription service. Buy me a coffee, $5 a month. You get instant access to every episode. You ain't got to wait 2 or 3 weeks. You ain't got to be in my inbox when it just drop. For $5 a month, that's nothing. You get it instant access. When we record it, you get a 24 hours. You get it later. We got the $5 tier, and we also got a $7 tier. And we also got merch, too. We got everything. We got coffee mugs, hats, shirts, Crocs. Anything we can put our logo on is on there. You order it, and it comes straight to you. Right now, we got a 10% off. We running that for a while. And we also got a special. First person that buys some merch and tags us in it, you get the episode. You come in, and you get skipped right to the top, and it's free. So that's a special, too. So do you got a message for the youth? Entrepreneur that might be both of y'all before we get out of here.
You want to go?
Ladies first.
A message for the youth.
And before you get into that, like a lot of ladies come up to me and like they like your episode. Like,
I do that.
That's one of my biggest episodes.
I appreciate that. Thank you, ladies. Shout out to y'all.
Yeah, Toni was rocking with it. We just had like a little table in here. We just had like a little table and a little sign. Like we came a long way. Yeah, so. And we we still got a lot of ways to go. Like you said, there's always room for growth. So
I would say a message for the youth. You don't have to be a product of your environment. And I know because a lot of youth, they can't help their environment. They're young, they're kids. They don't have no money. They can't get their name on nothing. They can't work. But you don't have to be a product of your environment. And I know a lot of things is easier said than done because under the circumstances of whatever your environment is. But there is nowadays, there are a lot of blighters, a lot of black advocates, a lot of just black people in general that are out here to help our youth, such as you, for instance. So I feel like plug yourself in with a mentor a positive mentor. And, you know, nowadays there's a lot of them out here, but a lot of kids either they don't have that resource to go to, or they don't care to, or
They might feel ashamed, like
they feel
they might
like
feel
they just feel like
Yeah, it's okay.
this is not gonna help anyways. You know what I'm saying? Like they just like just give up. But you're too young to give up, and I feel like that plug yourself in with a mentor, whether if it's in your school, your church, or in your community, because there's a lot of Black mentors that, you know, that's in your community that would help. To whether if you are in the streets, or you thinking about going to the streets, or you may be hanging around the wrong person, and also young ladies wise, because these young girls is off the chain. They out here bullying kids in school, out here jumping girls, out here just being the mean girl or whatever.
not to cut you off. I think the baddies got a lot of. That gets a lot of.
Baddie show?
Yeah, I think just the fighting aspect. I don't get why everybody's fighting and angry. I don't get that.
I don't.
You don't think so?
No, not the baddie show. Natalie, none.
I don't really watch it, but every time I see it on my timeline, it just stays fighting.
I don't think it's that. I feel like
of course, the things, the baddies, Glorilla. You know,
yeah, I would say if you the speak on music wise, because just as well as like the music, the rap music is bad ears for the young men. It's also the rap music with these girls is bad ears for the young ladies.
It is.
You know, with like Sexy Red or maybe Megan. I don't listen to Megan's music, so I really don't know if really what she out talks about. But the city girls and stuff like that.
Free Tory.
Huh?
No, go ahead.
But the city girls and stuff like that, like that stuff works both ways. That, you know, girls is hearing like, oh, because I'm not what you call it. I'm not knocking nobody for their preference or anything, but there's a lot of like young girls that maybe 18 years old, I maybe even younger than that, and they out here dating like older men. And I feel like
I've been
a lot of
for a long time.
Yes, absolutely a long time. That's personally not my preference, but I feel like that. You know, the city girls are, you know, just other upcoming female rappers has a lot to do with that. But at the same time, as parents, that y'all got to take accountability. If I decide that I want to sit up here and rap about, you know, getting money, using dudes for money and stuff like that, like at the end of the day, your kids' parent. My kids is not listening to the NBA YoungBoy. Right. So I'm not going to sit here, because that's it. At the end of the day, that's NBA's YoungBoy's career. He's not out here to be I want to be an influence to the youth. Right. That's not what he's rapping about. And then if it was Dirk, and considering that, you know, what he preaches, like, I'm the youth, and, you know, it's a they giving back to his city, that'd be something different. Like, okay, Dirk, you got to take accountability, because which one, you can't have one leg in and one leg out, or whatever the case is. So yeah, absolutely. So I feel like a lot of parents.
Wow, right there. That's a nice. Hit him with a drop, B. That was crazy. That was crazy. Hit him with a drop. We can't just skip over that. Go ahead. A lot of parents, what?
But yeah, parents need to take accountability for their kids' upbringing. I know a lot of parents can't help what their kids is out here doing behind their back, but I mean, me personally, I can.
Yeah, you can. Really can.
Absolutely, I can. And like just how you spoke about, you know, living in the hood versus living somewhere else. There's a different piece and just a different mindset. I don't live in Louisville, so you know, like my kids living where they live at. We go visit the hood because that's where I'm from. I'm from 41st and Market, so we go visit the hood. They like, oh my gosh, like it's crazy down here.
It is,
you know. So, but yeah.
It's a whole other world.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
World. I say, to piggyback off what you're saying, it's just trying to find the light in every dark situation. Don't pay attention to the, like, I know it's kind of hard and it's easier said than done, but like, don't focus on the negative. Focus on the positive.
Absolutely.
If you can pay attention to the cup being half full instead of paying attention to it being half empty, you can move in that direction. I feel like they only just go for kids, it goes for everybody. Because I feel like everybody's going through something. But if you like look at things in the direction of what you can give to life, like Nip said, like we look at things and what you can give to life instead of what you can get out of life, and stop trying to like capitalize on everything that you do and just more so just try to be of value to the world, we could actually live in everything can like begin to evolve and grow around you. I just think that a lot of people, they focus on trying to capitalize.
Seek validation.
Yeah, seek validation from people. Yeah. And then when they don't get what they want or they think they want, or even when they get it and they feel like it's not enough, it keeps growing. It's just the eyes of the lust. You know what I mean? Like lust, like it's just like if a new phone comes out this week, in a year, another one's coming out. And when that other one comes out in a year, you're going to want to get that one too. But if you just be appreciative of what you have. I learned that every year with where I'm at. I'm just grateful to be where I'm at. Like I definitely want to get better. You know what I mean? I want to like do more things and get more access to more high level people than what I already have. But at the same time, if none of that happens, like I'm grateful for the process. You know, like I'm grateful for the mission and being able to like just do what I have done. And I feel like when people get back to that, they'll learn how to love again. Right now, everybody wants to be hard. They want to act like
emotionless and
yes,
nonchalant, cut somebody off,
and then move emotionally though. Not even just like they want to act like they're emotionless, but then be emotional when they do things.
When they feel some type of way. Yeah.
Like you have to be logical when you're in situations, especially as men, because like we have like we are the head, right? So we're supposed to be able to lead. So with that being said, like I'm a chess player. Like so the queen is the most powerful piece on the board. Like when it's her turn, she can move in any direction and she can move however many spaces. But what the issue with the queen is that she's so emotional at times. She puts herself in situations where she can be compromised. The king is the most important piece because once you take the king, you take the kingdom. So with that being said, the king, the job for the queen is always to keep her king protected, and the king always tells everybody how to get in position. So it's like we have to learn our purpose. And actually, I think I heard something the other day, and it said that you can have a job, you can have a career, but then you can have a calling. And if you're lucky enough to have to find your calling, then you one of the blessed ones. I think people should like more so focus on the purpose and the calling instead of trying to focus on trying to be that nigga or that bad bitch. You know, like, focus on like just being an impactful one. I know I can't change the world, but I'm not Christ. You know what I mean? So therefore, but I when it's all said and done, I want to leave a big enough impact on the community and the people to where shit. Possibly I can fill up the Yum Center. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that's just always been my saying. So it's just like people just gotta find a way, even in the midst of in the midst of darkness, you just find a way.
So real quick, do you work with the youth? Do you got like a program that works with the youth?
So every year, my company, we give out. Well, we did two. For the past 2 years, we did a back to school event. We've given out 500 plus backpacks to the kids. Last year we had barbers, nail techs. We had bouncy house. We had what else did we have? We gave out tablets and other different things for the kids. But on top of that, this year my goal is to get more heavy into the firearms instructing. So therefore I'm giving people education behind it. Because like the thing about with children is once they're exposed to something, you can never take it away from them.
Right.
So I don't care if it's sex, I don't care if it's whatever. Like whatever they're exposed to, video games, whatever, you can no longer take it. I don't care how strict of a parent you are. Because once they get out here and they trying to get out here in this world and they try to become their own man or own woman, that whatever that you expose them to is going to come. It's going to come. Well, not even you, but whatever they have been exposed to, that it's going to come meet them again. So I think is if I can help give the youth more action behind firearms and make them more defensive instead of offensive, then I feel like we can possibly not necessarily make a change because I'm only one man, but make an impact and at least help one.
Save one life.
At least one, yeah.
not so much say life. If you change one mindset or two mindset, you win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Each one teach one, man. That's crazy. If everybody had that mindset, overall as a people, we could be at a better place, man.
Yeah. So that's what my goal is this summer. I'm gonna be heavy on the firearms with the children and stuff, and like giving back to the community with that this year.
Oh, that's dope, man. It's amazing. It was an amazing episode. I appreciate you stopping by, man.
Thank you, man.
Gave us a dope conversation. Amazing story. You want to shout out your socials out, man? How can they get in touch with you?
You can tap in with me. I got my company page is Anti-Threat Solutions. We'll have our website up soon for anybody who wants to apply and also get some work in. But we'll be doing firearms training also. On top of that, I'll be teaching here in the city Stop the Bleed. I'm a Stop the Bleed instructor, which will help with people because there's always a situation to where like somebody, you can literally cut your leg on this table right now, and I've been teaching help people put on tourniquets, pack wounds, stuff like that. I got a lady who I'm close friends with. She teaches CPR. Then also I know another young lady who helps. She helps with me with Narcan instructing for drug victims and stuff like that. I'll be putting together a course for that. On top of that, I'll be hiring soon for certain things too as well. And then my personal page is Grip the Wave. You can follow me on that on all social media platforms.
Toni?
Well, you already know who it is. It's Toni, Toni_Angels on Instagram.
Toni.
And Meek Angels Brazilian Hair on Facebook. You already know who it is. Thank you for having me again.
No problem. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate the support.
You're welcome.
And you can follow us, Big and Lazy, on everything. BigandLazy.com is our site. _BFINES is my personal Instagram. And we out. Just like that.
This podcast was produced by B. Haywood for Confirmed Podcast Network.